What's going on, guys? This is 3 of 3. Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
That's overreaching. Now, overreaching could be handled with 1 day, 2 day rest.
Right.
And you'll be back on track. It's not going to take so much out of you. Now, overtraining is over a long period of time. You keep pushing the exertion level of how much you're training to almost its maximal potential. So
7 days a week, balls to walls, 100%.
yeah, even 6 days a week, 5 days.
Not enough sleep, not enough not enough calories, not enough protein, not enough just adequate resources to recover, essentially.
Yeah,
right?
and so I had a good maybe 8 months of where I was doing that, and every single week I could do 315 for a 5x5 on bench or something like that. And there was no progression ever because I just kept doing it. It was too hard every time, but I could do it, and I just kept doing it. And for me at that time, that was probably like my 83%. And to be exerting yourself every week like that just keeps taking a toll on the body. You're not recovering by the next one. And of course, if you're doing the lift multiple times a week and you're not recovered by the last workout,
it's negative returns essentially.
You're not you're not cashing in. You're just pulling stuff out.
Yeah.
In a sense, you are. If
Print
it's
money.
Yeah.
No, I'm
if it's a money pot, you want to be putting chips in. You're just taking things away. You're never returning them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your body should be like a loan process. You should be able to return the money, which is your exertion level, and instead of just keep taking out. Okay, don't be bad crediting that shit. Okay?
I love these analogies.
That's my analogy.
I love these metaphors and analogies. But these are great.
But I think people will take, overtraining's not real or some shit like that.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I mean, you could say that, and for some sports and realms, it's not.
Wrestling.
You can grit through it, mind.
Yeah.
But for a strength level athlete, I don't think it's ideal to say overtraining isn't real, because max out every week and let's see how you do in a year. You either fucking hurt or you suck ass. End of story.
There's no progression.
There's no progression. You just keep. The more you test your strength, the less you're fucking gaining any strength.
Yeah, and I think one of the pitfalls too, especially I remember coming out as I would consider myself intermediate-ish level. I would probably say that as a lifter, right? And I think one of the pitfalls I feel like for every beginner going on to intermediate is kind of like that pitfall of kind of just I want to push myself. Because you see the progress, you got addicted to the progress and the beginner gains and stuff like that now, but it's what essentially happens though is you just don't. Sorry, that was. you're always constantly wanting to pushing yourself because you're addicted to kind of seeing the results and stuff like that. And now it's at the point though you've reached the point in your progression where it's all right, dude. Again, what you said, rest and recovery. You need to take 1 step back to take 2 steps forward. And I think
I feel like it's really hard to grasp powerlifting is because every other sport it's go 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 go, and there's always something left in the tank. Where powerlifting is the exact opposite, in which if you keep going and going and going, you'll just get hurt or you'll suck.
Yeah, you're going to wash out, yeah.
You're going to wash yourself out and you'll be done.
Yeah.
And then you won't even like the sport. That's hard.
I've seen that a lot.
That's happened to a lot of people because they keep going, and they won't pull back on the fucking gas pedal.
Yeah.
Pull back a little bit so you can move forward again.
And I think
every other sport, it's kind of you got more to give. We came from wrestling.
Yeah.
You got more to give. End of story. No one cares what the fuck you feel.
Yeah.
You got the flu. No one gives a shit. You got the Rona. Go home. No one cares. Keep going. That's how it was.
Yep.
So it's hard to take that translation from, if you're coming from that realm into powerlifting, where it's it can't be all gas and no brakes. There has to be a bit of braking from time to time, preferably every 8 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that, where you can pull back. And it also helps for reflecting periods too. If you just keep going, you're really not exposing yourself for any reflecting to see what's going on. Because what I do is a big thing is I'll pick a weakness I need to work on it really hard, focus hard, and then by the time I'm done making that up to par with everything else, I've already discovered another weakness because I was training and I didn't train enough over there, and now I have something else to focus on.
Right, and I think it takes a lot of self-awareness to kind of take a step back.
So look,
and it's really humbling.
Even if you're being coached, you should have self-awareness of what's going on with your body and your lifts.
The coach is just
your coach is not. He's not there. Okay, it's not. He's not in your body. She's not in your body. You have to know what's going on and be able to communicate with your coach what's going on. Because if stuff is really kicking your ass, but it looks good on camera and you're not saying anything, chances are it'll move up until the next program deload week, something like that, and you just won't be ready, and there's a crash coming for that.
Right.
So you just keep adding up, it'll just overfill, and you'll be done.
Right.
And then you'll have to take another week off after that.
You waste a week's worth of work, you know.
Instead of playing the game smarter, and then, let's sum it up. Basically, I listened to this quote. Shit, I can't even speak English. What is English? Matt Wenning just put a quote out on Instagram. If everyone trained like they were in their 40s, everyone still felt like they were in their 20s.
Oh, I like that.
Play the game smart from the start, and you'll end up somewhere a lot further.
Long haul.
Yeah.
Unless you're like
there's
1%.
there's really no rush, because some of the greatest people out there right now started way older than a lot of people.
Williams, right?
Ray Williams, Kevin Oakes started when he was like 28.
Yeah.
Julius Maddox, world record bench, started 26.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to come out the gate so hard. Like come out the gate with gas pedal on, but another pedal ready to put on the brakes, and you'll be able to get a lot further.
Right.
It needs to be like 4 steps forward, 1 step back if you want to play that week wise.
Right. No, definitely. You definitely don't want to be redlining all the time, man.
What else do we got on here? That's pretty much sums up how we're gonna do managing our fatigue. Because that's a big part of recovery.
Of course, yeah, definitely.
And of course, if your nutrition and sleep are shit, well, your fatigue's probably gonna be straight garbage, man. Like those, when your fatigue catches up to you in training, the first things you should probably look at is your sleep and your nutrition.
Of course, that's
like as soon as things starts going wrong, like in your training, you're like, I don't feel as strong as I used to. Check those 2 things. If they're not going as good and you're not paying enough attention to them, that's why.
Right. And I think a lot of people, like we talked about before, they're not eating enough and they're not getting enough protein. And
a lot of us aren't eating enough.
Yeah.
We know that.
So it's just it's really important. That's why I'm a firm believer of everyone should at least know how to track macros. I'm not saying they should do it 24/7, but I firmly believe at least one.
It should be knowledge for people,
exactly.
Especially if you want to do fitness.
If you're into
if you're huge, you still need to know what you need to put in your body in order to have a good workout.
Yeah,
because if you don't, you're just gonna have repeatedly bad workouts, and then you're losing out on strength and gains.
Again, and that's why I believe that like having the most important meal of the day, believe it or not, to me, in my opinion, is not breakfast. It's not.
Well, my breakfast is the smallest meal.
It's the smallest. Yeah, to me, the most important meal of the day is your pre-workout meal. You know, that's the
what
most
you
important.
put in about what would you say 2 hours?
I mean, it depends on what you have.
2 or 1 hours.
2 to 1 hours. Obviously, you want something
Prior
that's high in protein. Prior to a workout, something that's high in carbs, high in protein, right? I would probably stay away from the fats just because it slows down digestion. You know what I mean? And that's just generally
you kind of want that stuff to be speeded up as you're working out.
You want those nutrients shuttled into your system like as soon as possible. But yeah, no, definitely. I think that is definitely the most important meal of the day. And I know a lot of people prioritize the post-workout. They're like, oh, I'm going to get like 50, 60, 100 grams of carbs or protein in all the time and stuff like that. But in my opinion, man, I mean, yes, you do have that protein synthesis like window and stuff like that.
In which it works.
Yeah,
which
like,
I don't know if I believe fully in that.
Even if it does, right? It's a very, very small percentage. And at the average Joe, it's not going to make that much of a difference, man. You're not the 1%. You're not competing, you know. So I believe that the most important is that pre-workout because that's what sets you up for success. Assuming that everything else is on lockdown, right? It's in lock. You know, that pre-workout is essential, and that timing of that is going to be important because now once your nutrition's in lock, what's next? Your workouts, right? And if you can get your workouts going, I mean, if you can get 9 out of 10 workouts, like good. Cause, you know, we can't get 10 out of 10, you know, or 7 out of 7. I mean,
that's
you know
not
what I mean?
This works.
That's
especially
not how
if you're in an intermediate game or advanced game. Shit,
it doesn't. Yeah, you're gonna have ups and downs. Life is gonna happen, you know, and especially for those who work very physically intensive jobs, demanding jobs, you know, and that's going to impede on your recovery. That's going to repeat on your psychological everything. It's going to affect everything. So that's why I believe that pre-workout is like probably the most important thing of the day. Meal of the day.
That pre-workout meal.
Yes, sir.
Now we're going to talk about that. Pretty much wraps up muscle fatigue, CNS fatigue, the idea of how to manage it, get better at it, what to look out for, why it's shit, keys to get better at, sleep, nutrition, shit like that. All correlates circle.
Yep.
We're talking about extracurriculars now. When you're on a periodization block or something in which it's linear, There's going to be a point in time right before a meet where it's going to get really fucking hard. So the extracurriculars would include ice, heat, massage, cupping, therapy, anything of those natures in which you can help manage your fatigue. Because once it's almost there to the end, it's all gas. You have to be ready for that.
Yep.
And that's what the other weeks prior were for, that conditioning level, to get you built up for that. Those extracurriculars will help with the fatigue, because most linear programs at the end right there, right before meet or right before testing time, it's going to be linear. You're going up, and there's only like flatten out just before.
Just before.
That's it.
Right.
So ice baths, cold showers.
Cold showers. Ooh,
Cold
don't
showers,
get me started on
man.
those.
Well, I'll do showers and I'll go hot, cold. So now my body has to, and I put it right on my neck, so that way my body has to register the temperature change.
Yeah.
And that really, it shocks the muscles.
It does. No, and
Marines jump in a big ass cold pool usually right before.
Oh, dude, in the Pacific, bro,
Right
that's
after,
that's
man,
Mother
it's
Nature's
cold.
cold shower right there, man. And I think, I know that's getting a lot of hype right now, is the cold showers. Everyone on YouTube and their productivity and their mother is doing that. And I hired a productivity coach too, and he recommends that too. And my little brief stint with cold showers, so far I'm on day 10. I have to say, it's pretty beneficial. My recovery has been pretty good. Now, of course, the past few days I haven't been sleeping as well, but having that consistent wake up time and that cold shower, I find myself, I don't need coffee first thing in the morning, because you know what wakes your ass up? That cold ass water.
Cold ass water, man.
Cold ass
the body's
water.
gonna be like, oh shit.
Oh shit, you go into shock a little bit.
Yep.
But I do feel like, especially our workouts have been kind of picking up on the volume a little bit, and I'm starting to feel the fatigue a little bit in a good way. Those cold showers have been really beneficial, along with all the other icing on the cakes, the extracurriculars.
So that'll probably wrap up the whole idea of extracurriculars, the fatigue thing. One last thing I want to kind of address, it's not really a big part of powerlifting, because everyone's like, fuck this shit, da-da-da-da-da. But conditioning is key.
Yes, yes.
If you're on any form of a coaching program, or you're by yourself, the beginning of your program should usually be something of conditioning. A lot of reps, a lot of sets. You need to get your body ready to be able to do a lot of load, because once it starts getting heavier, if you're not conditioned, you're going to do 3 sets and your ass is done.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work in a meet, because you have to do 9 lifts at damn near 90% to 100% effort.
110.
180, shit, fuck it. But, so make sure, so if, that's another thing to look out for in a sense. So if your sleep and nutrition shit is good, and you're still like feeling the effects of these workouts, it could be because your cardiovascular is trash.
Yep.
And so the load you're doing in the gym is taking a lot out of you, because you don't have the heart for it and the conditioning to do so.
I feel like that's a really underrated, overlooked thing for powerlifters.
Oh, for powerlifters, sure, because you just go right over it. Like, fuck conditioning, I'm not running.
Because that big bench.
It doesn't have to be running.
It doesn't have to. No, and that's the thing.
Conditioning's a lot different than that.
There's a lot of things you can do. HIIT training, and that's the thing too. HIIT training doesn't have to be sprints. It doesn't have to be that. It could be with weights. It could be with other things. You just got to get creative with it.
Yep.
Find
a jump rope, do a 10-minute walk, something of that nature to get blood flowing, get the body
heart pumping. That's
what your goal is here. And if your workout's the only thing that gets the heart pumping, that's not enough in a sense.
Yeah,
there has to be some. Well, you could run a test and be like, these 10 kids are going to do walks and these 10 kids aren't, and we'll see who gets better, because the conditioned kids win.
Right.
When you're any other sport, round 4, quarter 4. Period 3 wrestling.
Oh, that's straight conditioning.
Man,
it doesn't matter how strong you are.
That conditioning is what happens. And especially if you have a lot of muscle, your fatigue goes really quick, man. The more muscle you got, the faster you fatigue. End of story.
And I remember my strategy too, because I was always one of the stronger kids, right? Like short, stocky little Asian kid at 126s. Bro, my goal was to pin you in the first round. Or second, maybe second round.
Second round at most.
I'm going all out. We're not going by text. We're not going by anything. It's pin. We third round. If you make it to the third round, that's it. I'm done. I'm tapped out, bro. Because it's just my conditioning was just trash. And it's a really overlooked feature, like you said. You're gonna go 9 for 9. And
yep,
9 for 9 at maximal effort.
That's it for today, guys. See you in that next one. Peace.